Hey folks, this is Shock. We're about to get on the high-speed, dangerous freeways of California, unfogging the visor. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the hilarious, lame, stupid arguments that atheists have given me in debate. Should be a fun video. And what more fun way to do it than on the freeway as we risk our life at nighttime on a motorcycle. And believe me, we are risking our life over here on this freeway because this one's horrible. So before we get into the lame, stupid, hilarious arguments that atheists have given me during debate, let me put the hammer down and pick up some speed. Oh, can't do it just yet. Oh yeah, I could do it. Here we go. Don't forget, get your free website. Click right below here, shockofgod.net. See it? And when you go there, it'll say get a free website. You don't even got to pay for it. It's all free. And make sure you get a free chat room. I got a website with the chat room on it. It's awesome. And you can get a website and a free chat room for your website. I have thousands and thousands of people visiting our website each month. And it is awesome. If you go there right now, you go into the chat room, you'll see people there. But don't go yet, because the fun's just started, my buckaroos. We're going to get into some hilarious, lame arguments that atheists have given. And it's absolutely hilarious. What I'm telling you is the gospel truth. I'm not making up these hilarious arguments that atheists give. They're so lame. But if you're an atheist, that's all you know is lame, because your worldview is lame. Atheism is lame. It's all about being lame in atheism. Because we know that atheism has no proof and evidence that it can give us to provide, hold on a second, to provide us proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Atheism has nothing. So let's go through some of these arguments. Let's start off with one of the most hilarious, lame arguments ever given by the Atheist Experience Show. Yes, the Three Stooges of comedy, the Atheist Experience Show, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, the Beavis and Butthead of philosophy, the Atheist Experience Show. One of my favorite ones that you can see, if you click below this video, you'll see it. But don't click below just yet till you watch this whole video, because I got a lot of funny stuff. Is this guy calls up to the Atheist Experience Show and asks them to give him arguments why we should believe that atheism is true. What proof and evidence do you have that atheism is true? Oh man, that's a big bump. What proof and evidence do you have that atheism is true? And by the way, the liberals are just destroying California out here with these roads. And so the Atheist Experience Show is asked, what proof and evidence do you have that atheism is true? And I'm not making this up. Matt Dillahunty says the proof and evidence that atheism is true is a unicorn in a cardboard box. A unicorn in a cardboard box! How does a unicorn in a box prove atheism is true? So the Atheist Experience Show gets the booby prize for one of the most lame arguments for atheism ever that I've ever heard. It was so lame. Now, I hope the Atheist Experience Show stays around forever. It is causing a lot of folks to leave the madness of atheism to the sanity of Christian theism. At least we have proof and evidence. See that motorcycle rider up there on the right up here? Let's get to another lame argument. You can't make these up, folks. Hold on. Okay. Another lame argument that I've heard is by D.P.R. Jones. D.P.R. Jones says that Christians are atheists. He has a video saying that I'm an atheist. Now, it is true, I used to be an atheist, but I'm not an atheist anymore. So what atheists will say is they'll say, well, you're an atheist because you reject Allah, Zeus, etc. But what they don't understand, and this is how lame this argument is when they call Christians atheists, atheism is the rejection of all gods. It's a global, universal claim that rejects all gods. So this is another lame argument when atheists call Christians atheists. Christians not atheists because they don't reject the only true God, Jehovah Jireh. the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Jesus Christ. They don't reject God. Okay, so that was kind of lame, how DPR Jones calls Christians atheist, when atheism is the rejection, it's a global rejection of any God's existence. So you can't call, listen my atheist friends, you can't call Christians atheists because it's a wrong wording of terms. So that was pretty lame. But they get that from listening to these atheist debates, and the audience will laugh when the atheist says it. What they don't know is the audience is laughing at the atheist. They're not laughing because he's witty. Matter of fact, if you want to see a debate where Christopher Hitchens gets laughed at, and he tries to stall a debate by acting like his microphone is loose, click right below here, go to shockofgod.net, and you can watch it. In fact, in that debate, Christopher Hitchens condones bestiality. He's asked if it's wrong, and Hitchens says he doesn't see anything wrong with it. He actually evades the question. You got to see that right below here, shockofgod.net. As a Christian, I totally believe that Hitchens got owned in that debate. Now, let's see. Oh, here's another major fail. Theoretical BS. He's here on YouTube. What a major fail he had. His failure was so epic that Dr. William Lane Craig says it's one of the worst failures he's ever seen in logic. And basically, theoretical BS's theory is we've never seen something that exists bring something that previously didn't exist into existence. That was theoretical BS's theory, which obviously if you just think for a moment, you realize he's wrong, because our parents exist and we previously did not exist, and they brought us into existence. So theoretical BS, he has two fails. The first fail was that one where he says we've never seen something that exists bring something that previously didn't exist into existence. Yes, we have. Our parents brought us into existence. We previously didn't exist. So theoretical BS has his channel rightfully named because his channel is so full of theoretical BS. At least he's honest by titling it that. But one of his major fails, this was so epic, is when he says, when he stands in front of God, he's got a video where he talks about what he's going to say when he stands in front of God on Judgment Day, and he says that he believes God's going to respect his decision to be an atheist. Huh? Where does he get that? Why would God respect an atheist that bashes Jesus Christ and has Santa syndrome? Why would God respect someone that hates them? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But then again, this is atheism, folks. This is the madness of atheism. Okay, but those are some major fails. Let's get to some hilarious ones, some more hilarious ones. And by the way, you can see these videos right below this video in the more info, show more section. And we're about to get into a deserted area of this freeway, so hopefully I can pick up some throttle, give you some good footage. One of the most hilarious, and again, I'm going to put this link below here, one of the most hilarious things I've ever heard was when I was debating an atheist on live radio, on TCP radio, the Christian Perspective Radio, and the atheist I was debating said that there's nothing wrong with rape. He said it's not objectively wrong. He actually said that on live radio. So I challenged him. I said, well, give me an instance where it's not wrong. And he started stuttering and stammering. And then he conceded and said, okay, it's always wrong. You'll hear that audio right below here. But another audio you'll hear below here when I was in debate was I asked the atheist, do you agree with Richard Dawkins that there is no purpose to your life? There is no good, there is no evil. Do you agree with that? There's nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. Do you agree that there's no such thing as good or evil and there's no purpose to your life? And the atheist says, yes, he does. He believes as an atheist there's no purpose to his life, and he believes there is no good and there is no evil. Yet in the debate, he was saying that the worldview of atheism is better because it can recognize good and evil better than Christianity. Well, how could it recognize good and evil if it denies that good and evil even exist? So he basically pwns himself. He destroys his own argument. Another hilarious, these are just some lame arguments I get, guys. If you want to hear these actual arguments that atheists have given me in debate, quick, right below here, go to shockofgod.net, quick, music podcast, and you can listen to these debates recorded. I was in a debate, let me downshift here. Hopefully there's no accident. I'm predicting there might be. No, it's kind of going. I don't think there's an accident. It's still kind of moseying up here real slow. I was in a debate, and the atheist was saying God was evil. Now, if God's evil, doesn't that mean he exists? It clearly does, right? But the atheist's hate that he has in his heart and his rebellion to God is so strong that it clouds his rational thinking skills. It's like the Atheist Experience show when Matt Dillahunty says that God is like a mafia boss. God's a mafia boss. How could God be a mafia boss if he doesn't exist? See, the atheists actually prove that God exists by their existence. In fact, when you think about it, if there were no God, there would be no atheist. When's the last time you read a book called The Unicorn Delusion? Or, oh, and that's another argument I got to bring up that's funny. Or Good Without Leprechaun. You can be good without a leprechaun. You don't see that. But you see all these books, you can be good without God, the God delusion. The atheists don't get it. They're actually proving God exists by their obsession with God. They're obsessed with God. They're evangelical atheists. That's what they are. All right, hey, I think we're opening up here. Hey, I want to show you something on the mirror here. I'm going to see if I can show you my camera. You'll see the glow. See it? I have a clear visor on. Usually I have the mirrored one on, but it's getting darker earlier. Okay, so in this debate, the atheist said the argument that God was evil. And I said, you really believe God's evil? See, I'm trying to get him to admit that he believes God's evil, because how could a non-existent being be evil? It can't. How could nothing be evil? Nothing doesn't have any properties, does it? The minute you say something's evil, that means you believe it exists. So, oh, this guy is putting along. Oh well, it opens up here soon, so I'll go around. So here's what I asked him. I said, you know, when God destroyed the world and most of the people, he didn't destroy all of them, in the flood, I believe, I told the atheist, and I'm trying to trick him to get him to admit that he thinks God's evil, right? So I said, because I believe God is good and just, but if the atheist admits that he really believes God is evil, then he really admits God exists. So I said, do you believe God was holy, righteous, and just when he judged the earth with the flood? I go, I believe that. And he said, no, God was wrong to do that. That was evil. Why do you have to kill everybody? Da, 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 right? And I said, do you really believe God destroyed the earth with the flood? And he said, yes, but that's your God. I don't worship him. I reject him. And this is an atheist, right? And I said, well, you just conceded that God exists. If you're admitting that you really believe God destroyed the earth with the flood, you just admitted God exists. This is atheist failure 101. The atheists in debate, guys, they're like Wile E. Coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner. You ever see Wile E. Coyote try to catch the Roadrunner? And he always sets the trap and then he falls in the trap himself, or he puts a rocket on his back and the rocket explodes and, you know, the roller skates, the wheels fall off. I mean, it's like atheism is like the Wile E. Coyote of all worldviews. It's hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Okay, there's so many atheist fails I can tell you, but let's get around this guy first, give it throttle, and get right back in the other lane. All right, here we go. One of the major, two more major atheist fails, another one by Matt Dillahunty, and another one by Christopher Hitchens. And again, click right below this video. You can see all the videos here of the atheists failing. Matt Dillahunty was in a debate, and he was claiming that atheism was true. That atheism was true. And they claim that Christian theism is false, right? If you've ever watched the Atheist Experience show, that's all they do is claim that Christian theism is false and atheism is true. Okay, fine. Where's your arguments for it? Get this. You're going to see a clip of Matt Dillahunty in the debate right here below, where, remember, he's claiming that atheism is true and accurate, and theism, Christian theism, is inaccurate, right? That's what Matt Dillahunty claims. In debate, under cross-examination, Matt Dillahunty, he freezes up because he's asked a question that terrifies him, and he can't answer it. He's asked a brilliant question by the guy that defeated him in debate. He asked Matt Dillahunty, are there truths that are eternal? Are there truths that remain true? Now, if Matt Dillahunty says yes, he destroys his own worldview, because on his worldview, everything is subjective in his worldview. There are no truths that are objective, right? So he's trapped here. The guy asked him a brilliant question. I got to switch freeways here. Is truth enduring? This is what he asked him. Is truth enduring? Matt Dillahunty can't say yes or no. He's trapped. If he says no, then that means that atheism is not enduring, because he's claiming that atheism is true. But if he says he doesn't know, then he looks like an idiot, and he's an agnostic, because an agnostic claims that these things are unknowable. Well, guess what? Matt Dillahunty's an agnostic. In the debate, he says he doesn't know. He has like a deer in the headlights moment, because he's trapped. He can't say yes or no, or he doesn't know. So he chooses, I don't know. He goes, well, I don't know. Well, then you're an agnostic, Matt Dillahunty. You are an agnostic. You're not an atheist. So Matt Dillahunty, in this debate, shows that he's really not an atheist, guys. He's an agnostic. He claims he doesn't know. I thought he did know. So he pwned himself. It was absolutely hilarious. I actually felt sorry for Matt in a way. So click below this video and you can see that. That was kind of funny. He's asked, is truth enduring? And Matt says, in my best Beavis and Butthead imitation, I don't know. I don't know. You'll hear him say he doesn't know. Well, if you don't know, Matt, then you're not qualified to be an evangelical atheist and preach to others about it. You need more education until you do know. Matt doesn't know if truth is an enduring thing. I know truth is enduring. Of course it's true. Of course truth endures. Of course truth endures. I like what Jesus Christ says. He says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. There is truth. Thank God there's truth. On atheism, it's just madness. It is madness. Okay, there was another. Oh, Christopher Hitchens. Now this is one. This ended Christopher Hitchens' career. This is why you don't see Hitchens debate that much anymore. I think he never could recoup from this horrible loss. He gets destroyed by Dr. William Lane Craig in video. Now, we love Christopher Hitchens. This is nothing personal. We love the atheist. It's their arguments that are lame. They're lame. You know, guys, the more I'm watching, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Christopher Hitchens, the more I'm watching atheists, the more I realize that atheism is a crutch for those that don't have the courage to bear the reality of an almighty God. Atheists, it's time you let go of your little crutch and face up to the reality. Okay, let's get in front of this semi. Okay, Christopher Hitchens stalls. He stalls in debate, and he pretends that his microphone's loose because he's stumped on a question. Click right below here, go to shockofgod.net. You'll see the video there, you can't miss it. It's called Christopher Hitchens Loses Debate. And not only does he act like his microphone's loose, he goes, oh, I think my microphone's loose and all this, and he's done that in other debates too. It's like a tactic he uses when he wants to stall. And Dr. William Lane Craig realizes that Hitchens is stalling. And Craig says, you know, I need an answer on this. My time is fleeting. Hitchens is trying to stall for 3 minutes because he doesn't know how to answer Craig's epic question. Okay, I got to get over this lane without getting squished. So you got to see that. But there's another epic fail that Hitchens does. Craig is talking about the fine-tuned universe. Oh, as I bring that up, I think of another epic fail that atheists use. There's so many of them. You know what? I could do like a 24-hour long video of the epic, lame arguments that atheists use. I really could. But Craig asked Hitchens a question. Hitchens evades. But then Hitchens is talking about the universe, how the universe is going to change. He said, by all intents and purposes, we're looking and the universe looks like it's going to die out as the Andromeda galaxy gets closer to us and all this stuff. And Hitchens messes up big time here. Because something has a duration of time, that doesn't mean that it's not designed. For example, look at this truck next to me. That was the product of intelligent design. That Chevy truck there isn't going to last forever, folks. This motorcycle is the product of intelligent design. It's not going to last forever. So the duration of an object has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not it's designed. It has nothing to do at all with that. So that was an epic fail of Hitchens. Now let's get to one that I recently had in debate, which was an epic fail of another atheist in debate. I think we've debated, very humbly speaking, as I bow my head down, over 50 atheists in a row all have lost debate. But this is the lame argumentation they use, so what do you expect? When you think atheism, they're good at two things: genocide. Atheism's good at genocide and losing debates. You know, statistically, atheists have murdered and raped and caused more genocide than Christianity ever could do. Over 200 million murders, rapes, and brutal genocide under the evil atheist regimes of Stalin, Pol Pot, Mao, the Khmer Rouge, Kim Jong-il. I can go on and on. So when you think of atheism, think of genocide and horrible debaters. They're horrible. Okay, let's get over here. Let's talk about the fine-tuned argument and another lame atheist argument. Gee whiz, guys, I can go on and on forever. There's so many of them. I was debating this atheist and I was going through how exquisitely fine-tuned the universe is for life on our planet here. Even at the creation of the universe, it had to be exquisitely fine-tuned. Do you guys know there's about 50 constants that had to be fine-tuned in order for even me to ride on this motorcycle? And if you were to change just one of those constants, just a hair's breadth, all of us on the freeway here would be dead. We're literally living on a razor's thin edge. And I bring up that there's only 3 reasons for the fine-tuning: dumb luck or chance. But chance doesn't create causation. There's no way dumb luck or chance can create 50 fine-tuned constants, because there's nothing in natural law of physical necessity that says those constants should be that way. So it's either dumb luck or chance, physical necessity, or design. And the atheists know that they're going to get destroyed on this argument because they don't want to say it's due to dumb luck or chance. Because that's a faith-based worldview. And boy, you know what I always tell you about faiththeism? That's what atheism is. It's all about blind faith. So the atheist says, well, shock. You shouldn't be surprised that the universe was fine-tuned for life here on this planet, because after all, if you weren't here, then you wouldn't see it. What? That's the lamest argument I've ever heard. Let me give you an example of how lame that is. That's like, let's say you're up against the wall with a firing squad, and there's 100 trained marksmen aimed at your heart. And they say on the count of 3, we're going to pull the trigger. 1, 2, 3, and you hear the roar of the guns. But you take your blindfold off, and you realize you're alive. Now, your immediate reaction would not be, well, I don't know why I'm so surprised. After all, I'm here to witness it. No, you would be like, okay, this had to be a setup. How could all 100 marksmen miss? Someone must have told them to miss on purpose. And that's how this fine-tuning is. And here's another example. Imagine you have a billion ping pong balls, white ping pong balls, and you got one red ping pong ball. And someone tells you, unless you pull out the red ping pong ball, you die. If you pull out the red ping pong ball, you live, but if you pull out a white one, you die. Well, the odds are that you're going to pull out a white ping pong ball, but you reach in and you pull out a red ping pong ball. And what if you did that 2 or 3 times? It is rational to say, wait a minute, this is a setup. You wouldn't be like, well, I don't know why I'm so surprised. I mean, after all, there's a billion ping pong balls. And you know, I basically have the same chance of pulling out any ping pong ball. It's just these atheist arguments are lame. But the lamest argument of all is how atheism contradicts itself. See, atheists go around saying how they're the gift to the world, that they're going to save society. But on the atheist worldview, they believe everything dies. That's what atheists believe. They believe that everything dies, humanity will die, the universe dies. That's not a Christian view, that's an atheist view. So on atheism, when an atheist tells you they're going to make the world a better place, no, they're not. They're not going to do anything. They're just walking zombies. That's really all they are. They're just walking dead. Because on their worldview, it all ends in death, folks. Stinking, rotting, pathetic, sour death. But the most devastating argument is how atheism contradicts itself. I want you to imagine you got 666 atheists in a room. 333 are atheists, but they believe it's possible for God to exist. All types of atheists on YouTube that'll admit that. The other 333 say it's impossible for God to exist. Then you ask your atheist friend, they can't all be right because they're making contradictory claims. Which atheists are right? See the problem? Atheism makes 2 claims. Out of atheism, we're hearing that it is possible for God to exist. You're watching this video now. If you're honest, you'll admit that atheism claims that. Atheists say that all the time. But atheism also claims that it's impossible for God to exist. It can't be both. Either God exists or he doesn't. So to say that it's possible, but it's also impossible for God to exist, is contradictory. Therefore, atheism contradicts itself. Therefore, atheism is null and void. Folks, I can go on and on for hours with the lame, stupid arguments of atheism. But just remember this. There's only one reason why atheists say that they can't find God, and it's the same exact reason a thief says he can't find a policeman. Think about it. If there were no God, there would be no atheist. So I appreciate you listening. I can go on with a million different lame arguments that atheists have said. You want to see Christopher Hitchens lose a debate where the audience actually starts laughing at him. I felt sorry for Hitchens. Hitchens' debating career is officially over, folks. Click right below here, go to shockofgod.net, and don't forget to click those other videos below here so you can see some of the more hilarious, lame arguments that atheism gives. And remember what Uncle Shock says. Friends don't let friends become atheists. God bless you guys. I love you. Have a great week.